Good morning!
And happy St. Patrick's Day.
You're still not wearing green.
I'm not wearing green. In fact, I had no idea that it was St. Patrick's Day until we had our morning meeting. And who brought up St. Patrick's Day? Oh,
well, Stacey was wearing
green, and it had a...
You're so funny. When we start this video, when we press the go button, it doesn't like automatically turn on. It takes a couple seconds. So really quick, I spun my chair around. And the video turned on, and then Sarit's like, oh yeah, me too. While the video's on, me too.
Wow.
You're adorable. You're adorable.
Let's talk about St. Patrick's Day. You know what's interesting? Today we're actually talking about luck, which is in full alignment with the luck of the Irish. And I gotta tell you, like my calendar, oh yeah, it does say St. Patrick's Day, but I had no idea. But it turns out that it's in alignment. So
maybe when we were scheduling these out, we realized it was St. Patrick's Day, and then forgot in the interim. I would like to know, because call me uneducated, uninformed, naive, whatever you want. Is the green because the symbol of luck is a 4-leaf clover, and the 4-leaf clover is green, so people wear green?
Or is it green because Ireland is green, or...
Why? What's with the green? I got some. Hashtag hustle muscle.
Love that. So let's get into today's conversation, shall we?
Oh, we have a conversation today?
Turns out we do.
Well, wouldn't you know?
So you guys, today we're going to be talking about luck, which happens to be in full alignment with the luck of the Irish. Though I know nothing about the story of the luck of the Irish, and maybe I should learn about it. But, you know, today's conversation is not about the luck of the Irish. It's about changing your luck.
How do you change your luck?
Yeah. What do you do in order to change your luck? You know, like... Do you think that some people are just born lucky? Or do you think that luck is something that we can all create?
I believe that luck is one of those things where the answer is not right or wrong. The answer is simply your answer. It's an opinion. It's how you see it. There's no scientific evidence that proves true or false that luck is a thing, right? So luck defined in the Merriam-Webster dictionary is success or failure apparently, even in the dictionary, it's like, I don't fucking know. Apparently brought by chance rather than thought. Hold on, let me start this over. Luck, success or failure apparently brought by chance rather than through one's own actions. Now, I want to look up the word chance. Chance, a possibility of something happening. So basically, luck is like it may or may not have happened because of your actions or not because of your actions. Right? Mm-hmm. If that word chance is in the definition of luck, which is a possibility of something happening, maybe or maybe not because of your actions. Well, if maybe because of your actions is one of the options, and you have control of your actions, can you perhaps create your own luck? I happen to believe the answer to that is yes.
Mm-hmm. And I agree.
And it seems to be, in my own life, the harder I've worked, the more chances I've taken, the more outside of my comfort zone I've gotten, the more people I talk to, the more opportunities I seek, the more luck I have gotten. The more good things have happened to me. And I guess luck can go reverse too. It can be good luck, bad luck. The less, the lazier I am, the more excuses I make, the more victim mentality I take, seems to give me more bad luck. What do you guys think?
I agree 100%. And I can tell you that from my own journey.
Can I give an example really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Just to like paint the full picture. If I'm sitting on my couch all day long, am I going to find any opportunities from there? If I'm sitting on my couch watching Game of Thrones, am I going to find any opportunity there? If I go out and I mingle with people and I create conversations and I have relationships and I try to help people, am I going to find more luck there? Good luck. We're talking about good luck. So that's just like to paint the picture. Rhetorical question, you can answer that on your own.
Yeah. You know, let's apply that to weight loss real quick. The reason why, okay, from my own journey, the reason why I was so inspired by the transformation in my body is because the transformation of my body gave me positive attention and gave me massive opportunities. And the reason why I'm so passionate about helping you guys achieve your body goals is because when you look like a fucking badass, you attract opportunity. Why? Because when you walk down the street, people are like, whoa, look at that super freak.
Somebody sees you. If nobody sees you, nobody can help you.
Right.
If nobody sees you, nobody can offer you anything. Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, like when you look a certain way, because whether we like it or not, you guys, we are evolutionary beings, right? So like when a person's walking down the street, whether we are aware that we think about it or not, our subconscious has already made a decision. Whether we are thrown off by that person or whether we're attracted to that person. And I don't mean sexually.
Just a physical attraction.
Because we make an initial judgment based on how somebody looks.
I looked up the word judgment because I wanted to make sure that was true. I was going to say that. The ability to make considered decisions or come to sensible conclusions. If I see, this might sound harsh, but this is like one of the first things that came to my mind and the easiest thing for me to think of. If I am walking down the street, we notice people. We walk down the street, we look at people, right? You pass by somebody and you see them. You initially have a judgment. Now, it could be a good judgment, a bad judgment, an indifferent judgment, but it is nonetheless a judgment. You are making a considered decision or coming to a sensible conclusion about something about that person. And it could be simply a preference. It doesn't have to be a fact. And maybe an assumption. Oftentimes that's what we do. But I can make a sensible conclusion by seeing somebody walk towards me who's, overweight, huffing and puffing, that they are not eating well, that they're not doing physical activity much. They're not taking care of themselves. Perhaps they are, and they're maybe at the beginning of their journey. I consider that as well. Mm-hmm. But I can also make a sensible conclusion that your body is not performing optimally. That's a judgment. Positive, negative, indifferent. It's simply a judgment.
Yep.
So no matter what, we behave this way. We operate this way as humans. And like the first impression that you get from somebody and that you give to somebody is your physical appearance.
Yeah.
If they don't know you, you haven't opened your mouth yet, you haven't done anything, the first thing they see, because that's all they got. You're standing in a room full of people, somebody walks in the door, you see them before you have a conversation with them. So the physical appearance of somebody has an effect. And it is up to the person visualizing to decide how to approach a conversation with somebody, or how to, react to a person. I'm not trying to play on either side. I'm trying to be very neutral in it, but just as a fact of how we operate. Okay, I interrupted you, but I want to add that.
Yeah, so, this is from my own life experience, but this is also just in general, when you worked hard for quite a bit of time and you look a certain way, it does two things for the receiver or the other person. The first thing that it does is it creates curiosity. Have you guys ever seen somebody on the beach who's really in shape and you're like, I wonder what they do? Or I wonder what they eat? Because you don't, it's not the norm, but it is attractive because our body is designed to look that way, right? So it creates curiosity, I wonder what they deadlift. I wonder how many pull-ups they can do. I wonder what gym they work out at. So many times when we go to the grocery store, people are like, do you girls work out? Sometimes they even ask us for help. They're like, can you tell me if I should get this or that? It's immediate curiosity, right?
They've judged us, made an assumption that we know what we're talking about because we look like they think you will look if you take this protein.
Right. And the second thing is, by default, you gain leadership. Because somebody is now curious. So let's say, if they're courageous, they'll ask you, they'll strike a conversation and they'll ask you, there's one more thing.
I know, I'm having so many thoughts.
They'll ask you, again, somebody in the grocery store, right? Immediate leadership, tell me what to eat, right? So you can help them. There's an opportunity, right? And then the other thing is you gain instant respect. For example, whenever we see somebody who is in really good shape, I make it a point to always say, hey, you look great. Keep up the good job.
Your physique is amazing.
Yeah. And then they smile and they're like, you too. And, then sometimes the conversation starts and they're like, yeah, it's not easy. I'm like, I know, man.
That's a simple appreciation of I know how hard you worked and what it took to accomplish that.
We make it a point, whenever we, see somebody who's in great shape, male, female, it doesn't matter. We're like, hey, just wanted you to know you look amazing. Keep up the great work. So, by default, that person has gained respect. So just think about it. If somebody has never seen you, heard you speak or anything, and you see them and now you're curious, you want to ask them a question and you're like, okay, I got mad respect for that person. Do you think that you are more likely to create an opportunity for that person or to be drawn to that person? Absolutely. So, and that goes for any relationship, be it, somebody that you're, let's say it's a blind date and it's your first date and you're like, man, they look even so much better in person than they do in the photo. Or, let's say if you're in HR and it's an interview and you're like, this person looks great. I can already tell by the way that they look that they pay attention to detail and they care about what matters. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that is always the truth, but initially, that is the initial judgment that we make.
But care about what matters to who?
True. And that's what I'm saying. Like that is the initial response, because I mean, they could care about working out in the gym all day, but they don't care about other areas of their life.
So it's a matter of care about what matters to the observer.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Are your lifestyle habits, behaviors, values aligned with mine? That's the assessment that we're making. And this is totally, I realize we're supposed to be talking about whatever we want, because you know what day it is? But I was thinking about, did I cut you off in your thought?
No.
Okay. I was thinking about judgment. And when we hear the word judgment, I don't know about you, but initially my automatic response is that it's a negative thing. Now, when we looked up the word judgment, it was a considered decision and a sensible conclusion. That's completely neutral, right? It's completely neutral. But what we think when we hear the word judgment is really defined as criticism, which is an expression of disapproval of someone or something based on perceived faults or mistakes. So when we use the word judgment, I believe oftentimes we're using the word judgment incorrectly. And what we mean is criticism. Don't judge me. You got your face in a half gallon of ice cream and you say, don't judge me. I can judge you. I can judge whatever the fuck I want. Judgment can go either way. Judgment is neutral. Criticism, don't criticize me is what you should be saying. Don't criticize me. Because criticism is an expression of disapproval based on perceived faults or mistakes. And again, what is it? Objective or subjective? When it's like your own idea, like just your own. I always get objective and subjective confused. But you know what I mean? When it's like your own thought, it's your own idea, right? Like you are deciding that is wrong. You are the one deciding. We were at the 10X Growth Conference, and I went to go get coffee, and a woman had a shaker cup, and there was a brown kind of fluid in there. And I said, "Oh, you're getting your protein shake on?" Like question, are you drinking a protein shake? She's like, "No, I'm being a bad girl." Because maybe it was like coffee with ice cream or something. I don't know what she was doing. Maybe she had booze in there. I don't know. But then she looked at me like in a way where I was criticizing her. I don't even know if I was making a judgment, but
you probably went into it to compliment her.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I was just trying to make conversation really and make people feel special and talk and whatever, right? When you acknowledge somebody and you chat with somebody, you make them feel welcomed and cared about, and great. I love to do that. But, then she responded as if I was like making a criticism, right? And I was like, hey, look, and this was after we had already spoke on stage. So everybody now who was watching knows what we do. And immediately people think like, oh, if I'm eating a piece of bread, like now they're going to criticize, they're going to judge me. But really they're thinking they're going to criticize me. And I'm like, hey, I have no place in telling anybody what to do or how to live their life unless you're paying me for it. That is not my place. Do your life the way you want to do your life. And if I don't agree with it, or I don't like it, or I don't appreciate it, or it doesn't align with me, I will remove my damn self. That's my responsibility. And I think that's something that people struggle with so hard these days. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe this person. Oh, I hate them. They said this thing. Just remove yourself. You can't control what they say. Even us. You can't control what I say. I'm a goddamn cheetah. I am a goddamn cheetah. But if you don't like it, you do have the responsibility of removing yourself. And I've removed myself from plenty of people or things that I don't agree with or I don't appreciate or I just don't care to be around because it maybe makes me have an energy that I don't care to have. Everybody has that opportunity. Like, at least where we live, you can always remove yourself plug. You know, anybody got siblings in the house? I feel like I could just go on for days right now. Sorry.
That's okay.
Anybody have
I'm
siblings?
enjoying this. You're so entertaining.
I have 2 brothers, and I'm in the middle. This feels like it would be a weird symbol. Somebody take a screenshot. Great.
You know that's going to be the email for today, right?
Probably. Stacy's on it already. But I have 2 brothers, and I'm the only girl, and I'm right in the middle. Okay? So when I didn't want to hear anything, I said, la, 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 la. What did you say? I can't hear you. What? I can't hear. Why do people forget that they can actually do that in real life? Just walk away. Here. I'm out of here.
Here. Take another one.
I'm out of
You're
here.
so funny today. Wait, I don't want to rip your eardrum.
What?
The trees grow out of your ears, girl. I'm judging you for growing trees. And
You can judge me. I don't give a shit. You can even criticize me. Okay, so then there was another direction.
We get criticized a lot, actually.
The more out in the open you are, the more vulnerable you are for criticism, period.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes. And I've learned to accept that, and that's okay.
That has been the, I think, #1 most discussed conversation at GrowthCon too. Like, how
That's
these people get fucking criticized so hard.
That's 2021's, lesson.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I was going to say is going back to when we were talking about appearance. We're talking about appearance, and we're talking about, when your first initial assessment or judgment of somebody is the way that they look, because you have no other data. You have no other data to go off of.
Right.
You haven't heard them speak. You don't know how they live. You don't know what their values are. So for anybody who watched the 10X GrowthCon and saw Sarit and I go on stage, there were so many people. I want to say this without feeling like I'm tooting my own horn, but this was reality. This was just reality. We could not walk from the ballroom that the event was being held in to the lunchroom, which was probably 100 yards away, 100 meters away. Would you say? A couple 100 meters away?
Yeah,
We
it
could
wasn't
not.
even a football field away.
Really?
Isn't a football field 100 yards?
Yards. I was thinking meters. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It was not very far away. It would have taken probably 2 minutes to walk to. 2 minutes to walk to. And within how long was the lunch? 30 minutes to an hour?
Probably an hour.
We could not get to the room that we were having lunch in. We could not make it. Because every 10 feet, somebody will stop us and say oh my gosh, you guys are amazing, your story, you guys are awesome. But I saw some of the other people who went on stage, and occasionally somebody would say something to them, but it was nowhere near the same way. And I was asking myself why. So Me
too.
I was what makes it different? What's the difference? And I think the amount of energy and confidence that we have, along with the visual representation that you get when you see us, you don't have a choice but to absorb it. Because it's admirable. It's admirable when you see somebody with that much confidence. How many people were in there? 2,000 plus? 2,000 maybe? And then there was another 15,000 plus watching it live, or Stacy said 100 and something. Anyways, I want to hear what Lauren's. You guys brought a different energy for sure. Heard that firsthand from several people. Yeah, and you guys saw when I came over to chat with you guys that last day, there was literally 4 or 5 people right there, and I was trying to hang out with you guys and before y'all left that evening. And, question. And I asked myself, like, why? Which is great. It's a fantastic thing. By no means am I complaining. I think that it's wonderful. I think that it also challenges us to remain humble, because it's very easy to say, wow, look how cool I am. But really, at the end of the day, we're here to help. And so I asked myself, the amount of confidence that you have when you've achieved some kind of physical representation of, I worked hard for this shit. I have discipline. I can keep my word to myself. I show up for myself. I respect myself. When you have that, you literally become unstoppable, and the energy that you bring into any room cannot be denied. And it cannot be overlooked. Mm-hmm. And when you can achieve that, opportunities somehow find you.
Yeah. By
luck.
Yeah.
But it's all these things that happened to get into that place. Like Stacy said, the positivity that attracts more positivity. It's hard to be positive when you don't feel good about yourself. Mm-hmm. That's the truth.
Because the discomfort consumes you on a subconscious level. Like, you're not even aware of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard.
You're like, shit, this hurts. Shit, like, I don't feel good. Shit, like, I have low energy. It's like, man, like, how the fuck can you be positive? Before we wrap this up, I want to talk about two things that I think are important. And great job, by the way. I want to talk about the concept of equal opportunity and also the concept of ego. Something that's super important, once you've achieved something great, especially if that was like a huge hurdle for a really long time in your life, is to stay humble and not to let your ego get in the way. Because what happens, like, once you overcome something great that has challenged you for a really long time, you start to gain this thing called unmatched confidence. And, there's a silver lining between unmatched confidence and being like extremely like cocky, in the sense that now you're like a doucher. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, like, after my initial transformation, where I went basically from being fat to having a six-pack, I was an absolute doucher, and I'm completely okay saying that. And I took advantage of that. Why? Because people were curious about who I was. Girls were very curious about me. My thing was like, how many straight girls can I turn gay? Just being like fully honest. Like, I had a tracker, because for me it was fun, like the chase. It's like, okay, new challenge, give it to me, come on.
How many can I flip?
Yeah, like, how many girls can I sleep with in 1 week? It was like, so like, I hit the like negative side of the silver lining. Because I gained leadership.
What changed?
Well, the negative consequences of that. But you, of course, but look.
Because you don't want anything but
this. Look. We're just in full alignment on so many levels. You're a completely different ballgame. But before that, in order for me to humble myself, I had to face the negative consequences. And I had to audit some relationships which were actually like on a soulful level, like very important to me. And I'm like, shit, well, maybe this is not the right way to go about it. However, like, you don't know what you don't know. So what I'm saying, like, if you're on a roll, like, learn from my mistakes. Don't be a doucher.
Can I explain? I'm thinking about confidence versus doucher, because there's a lot of people with confidence who can be perceived as very douchey.
Initially, sure, because of their unmatched confidence. Like, there's a very thin silver lining.
But everybody has ego. Everybody has an ego.
Right.
There's varying degrees in which you allow the ego to be in front of you. Now, there's people with extreme confidence. I think here's the difference. Somebody who's completely egotistical, completely 100% egotistical, only is in it for them. Everything that they do, everything that they think, any person they talk to, the only reason they do anything is for their own benefit, not for the benefit of anybody else. That is a completely egotistical person. A very confident person could come off as egotistical and could even allow their ego to step in front of them at times. I know that I do, but I recognize it and I try to reel that shit back in. But I also recognize that I'm a human being and I have an ego, just like everybody else. And so it is my responsibility to make sure that if that is coming forward, that I have the ability to flip the switch, pull it back in, and make sure you know I'm here to help. I do want other people to succeed. I do want to help you. I do show up for you, right? I want the benefit of other people. And I think that's the difference between extreme confidence and just simply egotistical.
Yes, extreme confidence, I like that.
It's the intention. I really want to help people. I'm here to be of service to people, even though maybe my ego can get in front of me sometimes, and then completely egotistical, whereas like everything I do, breathe, say, think is for my own benefit only.
Yeah. Now, the concept of an equal opportunity, and this is what I love about this country and why I've made the decision to do anything that I can to become an American, regardless of the challenges. Because in this country, I don't care who you are. You have an equal opportunity to rise with regards to anything. You guys, this is what makes America great. Because in other countries, you don't get that. You could be the most ambitious person. You could be the most ripped person. You could be the most humble person and the smartest person. But guess what? If you're all of that in Cuba, you still get paid like you're a cleaner. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with cleaners. Please know that. However, when you are on a journey to be successful, you want to also reap off the benefits of that. Nobody wants to eat clean to remain fat. Right? Like there's gotta be what's the word that I'm looking for? Man, what's the word? English dictionary.
What are you looking for?
Not consequence. When something comes to you. Byproduct.
As a consequence.
Okay? Like everything is a process. And like you achieve a byproduct. Now the fact that you have an equal opportunity in this country to achieve whatever it is that you want, millions of people will die for that. This is why like Cubans will swim across the ocean with sharks, because the price of that is invaluable. To be able to create the life that you want to create without being limited. Right? Like we all want to get outside of our comfort zone. Why? Because we want to achieve freedom to some degree. Now, which levels of freedom in your life you're choosing to pursue, that's up to you. I don't know about you, but like I'm a freedom chaser. Physical freedom, in my opinion, physical freedom is pillar number one. Physical and mental freedom. If you don't know how to manage this, you'll never be able to manage this.
I would rather have mental freedom than physical freedom.
Yes, me too.
Because you can create a physical freedom scenario in your...
Yes, me too. And we know some people who have mental freedom and don't have physical freedom, and the reason why they're in alignment is because they're clear right here. But mental freedom, physical freedom, spiritual freedom, financial freedom. All of that. Super important. And you live a fulfilled life. But you have to accept it. You have to acknowledge where you are and you have to act upon it. Like, take advantage of the fact that you have an equal opportunity to create your own opportunities. And once you commit to that, man, the opportunities are endless. And this is why I have mad respect for this country. And I would do anything for this country for that very small reason. Because if I was to go back to where I came from, I wouldn't be able to create what I'm creating here. It's equally as difficult, but I know that I can. You guys, like the power of that. Exactly. People with PhDs in my countries are working as food deliveries
anywhere else in the world, because why? Read it.
Because there is just no opportunity in our country.
Is there no opportunity to start a business?
Baby.
Is there no opportunity to start a
business? The laws
business?
there are not the same.
I'm literally asking. I'm literally asking. Can people start businesses there? Because I don't know. I'm not trying to be an asshole.
I can tell you that starting a business there is not the same as starting it here.
Sure, it might not be the same. It might be harder, but we can do hard things. So I'm asking, is there an opportunity? Are you literally like banned from doing that? I'm trying to think of solutions. Like if somebody were in that scenario, what would a solution be for them? You know, I literally don't know because I'm not there, right? I don't know.
I can tell you that to start from zero, like in Latin America, in the Middle East, I don't know about Europe and Asia.
She's in Ireland, right?
She's talking about Venezuela.
Oh, okay. Again, I don't know I don't know.
Right.
I'm literally trying to learn.
But immigrants get it. Like they would sacrifice, like make an extreme sacrifice just for the sake of.
I have another question that I don't know the answer to. If an American goes to live in a different country, are they then the immigrant?
Yes.
Okay, good. At least it's fair.
And okay, let's look up the definition of an immigrant.
Time for a definition. I'm learning, you guys.
I think an immigrant is a person from another country who moved to another country.
Yeah, person who comes to live permanently in a foreign country, a country they were not born in. Okay.
If you're an immigrant, can you please drop it in the comments?
You know what I really hate? The other word for immigrant is alien. That's such a fucking dumb name.
Yeah, I get that on all of my
all of Sarit's papers. It's like,
alien.
are you a U.S. citizen or are you an alien? I'm not. She's like a fucking person, not an alien, you idiot.
But that's all right. We don't take things personally.
Pamela's learning with me. You guys, the best way to learn is ask questions. I'm not going to try to pretend like I know everything about everywhere, or you know, I don't want to be politically incorrect, you know, in talking about things I don't know. So I ask questions.
Yeah.
It's not impossible to create a business, but the possibility of progress and actual gain with it is so small. Hey. And I would imagine it is much smaller there than it is here. Much smaller. But even the people who succeed here is extremely small. So
and please, Daniela, I would love for you to chime in on this. I think, you know, for one, the law in this country.
Mel said it's like, just because you're out of this world.
The law in this country embraces entrepreneurship, for one. Okay. For two, and this is what I know about the Middle East. Latin America is very, very similar. Like the personalities are the same. Like we're very like warm people. We're very like tight knit together.
Family.
When it's good, it's real good. But when it's bad, it's real bad. I think it's because families and friends are so close there that the amount of naysayers is just like, and this is why every like entrepreneur who is an immigrant wants to come here, because they're just like, I need to be away. Sure. Because the amount of naysayers is just like you like, and it's not that it's impossible from a spiritual and like a mental standpoint. It's just it's
or a
so
physical
fucking
standpoint?
What
is it? Or from a physical standpoint?
Well, I'm not sure about the law. That's what I'm saying. Like physically, I'm not sure. But from a mental and a spiritual standpoint, it's like, man, like you can't get away from it. So you're like, let me get away. Physically, let me get away.
You have a lot more like understanding of that from like firsthand experience than I do. So I'm literally learning.
Right.
Yeah. It is hard to resonate with a situation you've never been in.
Yeah.
So I'm coming from a place of, I really don't know, I understand that, and I want to understand more.
Yeah, bureaucracy for sure, especially if you are a woman too. We didn't even get to that. Yeah. But like in these countries, men have like here as a woman, like yes, we still got ways to go, you guys. But I mean, come on, like gay rights, women's rights here, like there's so many opportunities here. If you're just like a fucking hard worker, you do the right thing, like anything is possible in this country.
She said it's almost impossible because the authorities that should be supporting you rob you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Got it. So, you guys, if we're talking about privilege, let's talk about privilege for just a half a second. Just to be in America is a fucking privilege.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shitty things happening, but I learn more and more how much of a privilege it is to just simply live in America. So.
And that's why too, like for me, it's a duty and obligation to rise to the top and to prove the naysayers wrong. Man, that feels so good.
To be an inspiration and to be an inspiration for other people who come from outside of this country. Look, it's possible. Look, you can do it.
Yeah, or it doesn't matter like where you start from. Like, like you get a head start by putting your head down and just going to work. Like, yes, you could be a trust fund baby and start a business with $500,000. But that doesn't mean that 10 years from now it's going to be thriving. But I think it's because we live in this society of like fast. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. Like anything, when it comes to your body, when it comes to your relationships, you know, when it comes to your home, when it comes to, you know, like your professional life, it doesn't happen overnight.
We got to wrap up this party.
Yes. So let's leave you off with a positive note, you guys. I mean, I think that this was an incredible conversation. We hope that you found a lot of value from it. And by the way, if you did find value from it, do us a favor and please, you know, share this with somebody who would appreciate this conversation. As you guys know, we're on a mission to transform the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, and lifestyle habits that have transformed ours. And nothing will stop us. Why? Because we believe in you guys, and we believe in our mission, and we also believe in the solutions that we have. However, going into the rest of this week, because this is the last episode for this week until next Tuesday, because tomorrow we're traveling for ENS Live. If you're coming to ENS Live, drop a flex emoji. You guys, think about all of your privileges over the next couple of days. Like once you actually hone in and are fully present with all the gifts that you already have, it makes you think bigger and it makes you think bolder. And, you know, I think in order to take it to the next level in life, one of the most important things that you have to do is making courageous decisions. Raw people, we were talking to you guys about that last night. Making that courageous decision is literally one of the most monumental things that you're going to do for your transformation. Yep. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. You know? So that being said, we hope that you guys have a very, very fabulous day ahead. Happy St. Patrick's Day, weekend ahead. ENS Live peeps, we are so stoked to get to meet you guys in person. This weekend is going to blow your absolute mind, and we're so incredibly stoked for that. You know, we're very grateful for this opportunity. It's a privilege to get to see you guys in person.
With that being said, we'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks for being here. We love you guys. Have a great rest of your week.
Bye.